course, bringing you the very latest in the Transnet wage strike. There's no end in sight as workers have now rejected the employer's offer of 3 and 4%. Union Satawu says workers have vowed to continue with the strike until their 12 or 13% wage hike demands are met. Satawu Zamikhaya Mrali says they hope the Labour Minister's intervention will yield some positive results. Our reporter Athi Mtongana is following the strike in Cape Town for us. Athi, a very good afternoon to you. There seems no end in strike, but the impact on the economy, billions of rands being lost.
Yes, in fact, experts have warned if the strike continues to no end, of course, that the impact will be devastating insofar as the ports are concerned and all the shipping that needs to come into the country, because these are the workers that essentially assist in all the work that has to do with the ports here at Transnet. They have not been reporting for duty for a couple of days now, and this is not something that they say they woke up and decided to do. This is something that their unions have been in talks with Transnet since the beginning of the year. I see now they are standing up and getting ready to continue picketing and moving up and down the premises of Transnet here at the Cape Town Harbour. There have been disagreements with this group and the police, the public order police that have been deployed here. They have a demarcated area that they need to use for their singing and demonstrations, but however, they are not really obliging with what the police are telling them. Remember yesterday, Mpo, there was talk between the labor unions and the CCMA and Transnet to iron out some of the picketing rules, and those picketing rules only allow them to picket around Transnet premises outside at demarcated areas, and if they breach that, obviously public order police will step in. They've been talking to a captain there with the red badge. He's the one giving directives, and if they do not comply with what the police are saying, they will obviously be firing stun grenades to disperse them, because in the Belleville premises of Transnet this morning, they were burning tires, something that the leaders of this particular group and the other groups around Cape Town are saying that they had to go there and try to stop them from burning tires on the road. This is the entry to the Cape Town Harbour, and so if they do cross this line, it means they will be interfering with the work that needs to be done at the harbour here in Cape Town. But of course, as you've said, the workers are demanding 13.5% to about 12%. The employer is offering 3%, 3.5 and 4% for different grades depending on the type of work that some of these workers do. And they are rejecting that because of the cost of living, saying that it has become very costly for them with the current paycheck that they have. And so those wage talks are expected to continue tomorrow with Transnet and, of course, these two labor unions that have been representing these workers across many provinces in the country.
So when it comes to where we're standing now with the negotiations on the table for a better increase, one above the living wage, where are we standing? Because workers have said the employer's 3% is an insult.
Well, the workers are very clear. They want a 13.5% increase, or at least a 12% increase. But if you look at what the employer is offering, that 3% to about 4%, depending on the grades, of course, as I've said, that gap is quite wide, to say the least, and the workers are not moving insofar as, those numbers that they've been given by the employers because of the cost of living. They're saying that whatever the employer says, it has to be something that these workers are satisfied with, because the workers are the ones who are essentially speaking to their representatives from the unions to say, this is what we want. The shop stewards and the representatives that are on the negotiating tables are taking direct demands from these workers who are saying that they don't want that 3%, that of course they did not just decide to wake up and come and picket outside Transnet. This is something that has been ongoing since the beginning of the year, as far back as April. I'm going to try to speak to some of them. The employer is offering a 3% and you are saying 13.5. What are you saying to that as someone who works at Transnet?
3% is very little, ma'am. The management must sit down with the union and try to settle this thing as fast as they can, because hence it's also affecting the economy of the country. So I think we can settle for 8, though it's just something that is coming from me. But I think they have to consider going up a little bit, because we are also don't want to be in this situation. Hence there is also affecting us as well.
Quickly, I'm going to speak to one more employee. What are the living conditions of these people here? Because they did not just decide to wake up and come and picket. What has pushed the workers across the country to take this action?
Actually, the percentage that they offer us is way below the inflation rate. So we cannot accept 3% to 4% because our living conditions are very bad. The housing allowance, they give us 1%, which is not acceptable. We cannot accept that 1%, never. So we are pushing. There is money. They did announce to everyone, to all South Africa, that we've made a profit of 500 billion. So they need to share that with us as well. At least we must get something from that 500 billion. We understand the economy of the country, but we still need to get a living. We still need to get our salaries. We need to get increase. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, you heard it directly from some of the staff members at Transnet saying that they will not accept anything close to 3% at least, saying that this narrative, I've been hearing a lot that this gentleman has just spoken about, the narrative that of course the executives are making a lot of money while the workers on the ground are really, really struggling, bearing in mind the cost of living. And this is why they've decided to take action across the country. I'm going to ask my colleague to pan behind you to show you that they are adamant and they will continue picketing at the picket lines across Transnet premises in the country.
Very well, Athi Mtongana. Let's leave it there for now.